discussion on how gas prices are falling and rising at the same time. Today, I was given the question, how does lower gas prices affect the U.S. economy? My answer to this question is that U.S. economy will not get any better after gas prices start to decrease. Today, I'll be discussing crude oil prices, then I'll be discussing how gas prices are affecting us, and lastly, I will be discussing car shoppers and global oil demand. First, I'll be discussing crude oil. A fundamental factor causing your gas prices to rise or fall is the fluctuation in the price of crude oil. Crude oil tends to have a ripple effect on gas prices. As crude oil prices come up or down, gas prices tend to follow as well. The U.S. refineries buy several million barrels of oil every day to supply the world's biggest economy, so even small price changes make a big difference. Gas is a very essential element to our lives. Without gas, we wouldn't be able to do the everyday things that we do now, like our vehicles, our cars. They need gas to operate, and our homes as home heating purposes. Gas is, in conclusion, very important to us. According to an article on U.S. News written by David Goldman on March 19, 2016, gas prices seem to be affecting the U.S. economy in very largely. Because gas prices are low decreasing, many people are seeming to think that it's good for them. But it seems to make people, companies and countries who are oil-producing countries and companies, make them worry because then they won't get any money and in the end they might have to shut down. Big oil-producing countries like Saudi Arabia are very concerned about the gas prices decreasing because this results in people having to create other businesses and having to have lower gas prices. Although gas prices seem to be worrying the companies and countries, it's not worrying us at all. We seem to be enjoying the fact that gas prices are decreasing because then it's cheaper for us. But we need to think about how it's not actually good for countries and companies who are oil producers. Now I'll be discussing global oil demand and how it affects us. Without oil or other supplies, we won't be able to survive. Because global oil demand is so big, global oil prices decreasing or rising has a very big effect on us. Every time we go to the gas station, we see the prices decreasing or rising. But we don't seem to realize that not only does it affect us and our vehicles and other things that we use for gas, it also affects the U.S. economy. The economy isn't doing very well every time the gas price decreases. When crude oil prices tend to fall, gas prices tend to fall in a ripple, as well in a ripple effect, which is probably why it's not good for America's economy. Global oil demand is very big because many people need gas for their everyday lives, such as driving to work and driving back or going to school. We all need it, whether we're adults or children. Because of this, we need oil, and because it's such an essential element in our lives, we need to try and balance the price of crude oil and gas prices down. Although gas prices keep falling, we need to try and bring it up and instead not make it too expensive, but instead balance the prices out so that it's not too expensive or too cheap as well. According to an article on Wall Street Journal written by David Zipperman, it says that many people seem to think that gas prices are falling in many ways. However, because of gas prices decreasing, it won't affect us, but it'll affect the global economy. Wall Street Journal seems to think that gas prices decreasing is a very bad thing for the U.S. economy, And it is. Every time the gas prices decrease, the U.S. economy starts to get worse and worse as it goes. Now I will be discussing car shoppers. Many car shoppers are frustrated about gas prices decreasing or rising. The fluctuation in the gas prices rising or falling affects not only us but car shoppers as well. Every time car shoppers try and get a new car, it affects them because more expensive cars tend to have expensive cars seem to take in more gas. Because of this, car shoppers need to be thinking almost every time they buy a new car about which gas prices, which car takes in less gas so that they don't have to pay as much as they need for expensive cars. Although cheaper cars like a Prius or hybrid cars have less prices and take in less gas, it shouldn't be affecting how we think about which car we need to buy. Because of oil prices and gas prices decreasing, it's creating a global problem around the world. Although it seems to only to be affecting us and the U.S. economy, it in fact also affects how we think of other cars and what we need to buy. Because of this, we need to balance this out, which is becoming a very big problem since gas prices have been decreasing so dramatically. Today, I have discussed crude oil prices. Then I have discussed car shoppers, and lastly I have discussed the price in crude oil. I received the question, how do gas prices affect the U.S. economy? My answer to this question is that America's economy will be failing greatly if gas prices keep trying to increase.